Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, hey now, hey now. Going with the air drums. Here we go. This is why you'll watch on YouTube, just to see me do air drums. And it kind of, if I keep the sticks below the logo here, it kind of looks like I'm actually hitting drums.
Not really. You got to learn how to twirl it now.
I could stick it up my nose like David Lynham.
That you can do that too.
You know, he was a pro at that. I wish I could twirl it.
You're close.
I got to be able to make it go through my fingers. I don't think my fingers. I don't think my fingers work like that. Need some finger exercises. All right. So here we are. Hour number 3. We fly through here so fast. How does this happen? How does this happen, guys? How does this happen? 205-545-9950 if you want to get in. Alabama Men's Clinic bringing you this part of the show. I told y'all yesterday I'm going to make a trip down to Alabama Men's Clinic. I'm going to try to go by there maybe Tuesday. I'm going to try to get there before I go out of town, just because I want to, check everything out and make sure. You don't have to be, and this is my point, you don't necessarily have to be suffering from signs of low T to go get checked out. You can still go get checked out and make sure everything's on the up and up, because a regular doctor's visit is not going to go through this and check all these things. And even it's not going to offer you solutions that work. On top of that, you've got all these different commercials you see all the time. I mentioned my YouTube ads are always like, is your boyfriend finishing too early? And it's like, everybody's got something that they claim that can fix your deal, but a lot of them are just snake oil, Alabama Men's Clinic, scientific, research-backed, proven results, proven solutions that they help men with every single day, every day. And so I want you guys out there, if you're getting a little bit older, you're 40s, 50s, 60s, and you feel like you've lost a step, if you feel like you're suffering from ED or hair loss, weight gain, any of these things all could be tied back to low T. And there for a long time, like nobody even talked about this. Nobody even really addressed the situation or addressed that part of the situation where it was just like, hey, you get older, things happen, your body doesn't work like it used to. Don't live like that. Get it fixed by going to Alabama Men's Clinic. They'll do some labs. They'll give you the info, give you the consultation, and figure out a solution for you to get you back on track. 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. Online, alabamamensclinic.com. Make sure you tell them Andrew McClain sent you. Bubba's on the line. Bubba, what's up?
Hey now, Funking Friday up in the house.
Hey now.
All right, so, like a lot of crossroads of information going through totally not corrupt Minnesota these days. And it's funny how they got the crisis they needed to divert attention from all the fraud and scams and everything that are going on there.
Right.
And
that's the biggest thing for them. That's where most of their concern with this shooting is. It is an excuse to get away from the fraud issue. Although there has been criminal referrals for both Tim Walz and Jacob Fry to the DOJ, I think, as of this point. So that's a move in the right direction.
Where's the criminal referral for Ilhan Ira Omar at, though?
Yep, need one of those as well.
And she didn't just show up there by accident, all right? So the Democrats have been railing against gerrymandering lately, but there's more than one way to gerrymander a district, and that Barry Soetoro just flooded the zone with Somalis and created an entire new voting bloc that's never going to do anything except let their votes be harvested so they continue to get our money and scam us.
Yeah.
And that's how that went down, So it makes me wonder what Barry Soetoro's cut of the profits are, and Jacob Fry and Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. They're all in on it.
Oh,
I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I cannot confirm these allegations, but my suspicions are based in fact and reality. And it's a shame that all of a sudden this ill hand of the Ira Omar shows up in our country, and then she's in our government and in the power structure order of things. She's more important than we are and has achieved this untouchable status while she denigrates America, talks about what a horrible country this is, and then profits from all these scams that she's a part of. You know, it's like it's an insult, cuz.
Yeah, and they're not alone in this. This is more widespread than just Minnesota, but it is such a large scam. Like the size and scope of this scam is so incredibly outrageous that at least it's a good starting point. And hopefully this opens the door to look into more blue cities and blue states, as there is massive fraud that's been going on for years and years and years. And it's not always going to be tied to immigrants, you know? I mean, there's tons of – we've seen the stories over and over of, especially as of late, people getting hemmed up on COVID, taxpayer money scams, like COVID funding scams and stuff like that. It's going to be all over the place. If they're serious about this, they're going to find more fraud than they ever thought they could.
Absolutely. And it's good to hear, you know, once again, Trump kind of like seeding the ground by talking about how bad the fraud in California really is, worse than Minnesota. And, you know, just looking at the high-speed train to nowhere and the homeless scam, the homeless scam alone was $25 billion, and the high-speed train to nowhere, God, who even knows, like hundreds of billions by now of taxpayer money, including y'all's taxpayer money from Alabama over there, dumped into just like a vacuum of Democrat corruption. There has to be some accountability at this point, or our country will not survive.
100%. I agree.
All right, cuz. You enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you for 2 whole days next week before you abandon us to go play with the Bubba Army.
It's going to be the best 2 days if you're alive, Bubba Rumble. I'm telling you right
now.
It
is. We're going to have to make the most of it, man. But I do hope you have fun hanging out with Bubba Army and stuff down there. It sounds like it's going to be a good time, you know. So
yes, sir.
No better place to be in wintertime than Florida.
You got that right. You got that right. All right, cousin.
Hey now.
Hey now. There's Bubba. Let me go to Rick. Rick, what's up?
Hey, yeah, these Democrats have been working the long game. They've been working for a long time, trying to replace these Americans with people they can control easy and change their culture. And these people over here that don't give a damn about the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or history or nothing else.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
No, I'm with you. This is it's been going on for so long, and I don't know who to blame more, the Democrats themselves that have been perpetrating these scams or the Republicans who have allowed it to happen. And Republicans, some Republicans are involved in it.
It's the whole government. They're all complicit in it.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
100%.
They just sit back and let them do it. If they can find a way to get an upper hand, they won't take it. They're going to play by the rules, by the good rules. But the Democrats ain't playing by the good rules.
No, and they never will.
Appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you, buddy. No, they'll never will. They'll never play by the rules. It goes back to the deal with the filibuster. Like, you think if you don't eliminate the filibuster that if Democrats win the midterms or the White House in 3 years, they're going to be like, well, you know, the Republicans didn't kill the filibuster, so we better not do it either. Give me a break, dude. Brett's up next. Brett, what's up?
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, man.
Hey, you were talking about the people paying these immigrants to come in through Mexico, like Soros and those groups of people like that.
Funding organizations that then help immigrants. Yeah.
All right. So they're complicit in trying to destroy the country, right? Because they do that.
That is correct.
Okay. And people, and they let out their mentally ill people and sent them here too, right?
That's right.
Okay. So on the mentally ill thing, Ronald Reagan did the same thing to this country that you have a problem with there, because he closed all the mental institutions within our border. That's that. And then Trump, it comes out that Trump helped pay for people to come to January 6th. So he would be complicit in January 6th since he helped afford people travel and invited them, as a matter of fact, to come to January 6th and said it was going to be wild. So do you hold him in the same regard as you hold those funding people?
Yes, I hold Trump responsible for telling people to peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol. Yes.
Yeah, you forget the part about it. Okay. Anyway, so you have the worst case of TDS that I've ever seen, and that's called Trump dependency syndrome. That's what TDS stands for, Trump dependency. You are so dependent. You even said a while ago that you vote so that the government gives you what you want. That's not in the Constitution anywhere.
I said most people do what? They vote based on their best interest. And yes,
Right.
I would dare say that that's how most people cast their vote.
That's not what we're supposed to be voting for.
What are we supposed to be voting for, Brett?
People to represent us what we want, not what they want to give us. We are the ones in charge. There's no bills that come out of the. Do you know anybody that's ever gone to the government and said, "This is my grievance that I want to give to you to try to fix"?
Yes, I've known a lot of people do that. We have people that listen to this show that are constantly contacting their representatives.
Okay, and is anything getting done?
A lot of times, no.
Okay, but a lot of things do happen though, right? So they come down from up above, right? So they're dictating to you what you're going to do in your life.
Right.
Okay. All right. So when y'all figure it out that the government doesn't care about you, and I know they don't care about you. I've known a long time, 30 years that I've known this. I've been in places and I've seen things and I've heard them talk. They think they can't wait to get rid of y'all. And the AI is what's going to replace you people, and you are going to starve. And get ready for it because it's coming. They don't give a damn. They hate every single one of y'all. I promise you. I know them. I fight for you guys, but they hate you. I promise you.
Okay, Brett. Well,
they could care a damn about you. I'm telling you, Bo, you're done. You got about 20 years left on this planet.
Gotcha. All right, Brett.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it. You think has Brett ever listened to the show before?
Who hates us? Or hates you, excuse me.
Well, the government, and
Oh.
which is something that we've said over and over. So I don't know if he was just trying to reinforce that. I mean, I've never been one to say that the government is completely on our side and always does what's in our best interest. I've always said the opposite, but maybe Brett's calling in to try to agree with me. I don't really know what happened just now, but
It only gives you 20 years to live, so
20 years, man.
good luck.
Better get all my vacation time in.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if I could get an advance on my next 20 years worth of vacation.
I mean, you can always ask.
Just take it all at once.
I would say you needed personal holidays
I need all my personal holidays for the next 20 years.
because you need some help with your thoughts.
My TDS, my
Right.
Trump dependent syndrome.
I mean, he may be right. Maybe you do have that.
I mean, listen, I probably do. I'm loving what Donald Trump does, and I fear the day that Donald Trump is no longer president because we're never going to see another one like this. This is as good as it gets when it comes to politicians, when it comes to presidents. And maybe I'm proven wrong. Maybe somebody comes along. Maybe J.D. Vance is a Trump 2.0. But based on what we've seen in the past from Democrats and Republicans, we've never had a fighter in the White House quite like this. Underdog Fantasy, the Underdog Fantasy app. Have you downloaded it yet? I'm talking to you, those of you that are watching us on YouTube, those of you that are listening on the app, and those of you that are in your car right now. Download the Underdog Fantasy app, especially today. Today is the day to do it because not only do you got a chance to win money tonight with college football between Indiana and Oregon, but you've got NFL wild card happening this weekend. And just for you, if you use my promo code HeyNow, all one word, you're going to get some bonus stuff. You're going to get a gimme pick on the QB of your choice from any of the wild card games to get you started. That means the quarterback that you pick, that pick is automatically considered correct because it's a gimme pick. Then you just add some more picks to that, decide what you want to do, higher or lower, and then if you get your picks right, you win some money. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash and play with as little as $1. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code HeyNow to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HeyNow. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Bada bing, bada boom, bing, bing, bong, as they say. Underdog Fantasy. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so we got all that going on in Congress. Yes, the government doesn't care about you if you haven't figured that out so far. But it's also what makes Donald Trump so popular because he seems to be the opposite of what we've gotten used to with politics. We've been sold down the river on so many issues. I think about yesterday. It was yesterday or 2 days ago when RFK and Dr. Oz and Brooke Rollins and these other individuals came out to say, we're basically taking the food pyramid and we're flipping it upside down because all along you've been lied to about what's good and what's not good. You've been lied to because giant corporations, food producers of cereals and whatever else, all this other ultra-processed crap, has paid politicians to make sure that your food that you're consuming wasn't good for you, but it was their product that you were eating. It was simply a business move, and it's made people tremendously, tremendously sick. They've paid off the politicians, and then the politicians have ended up giving you bad guidance on what's good and what's not good. Ultimately causing things like good foods to be incredibly high or more expensive than the more ultra-processed foods, and it puts you in a position to where you can't afford to eat healthy. And it's just like breakfast being the most important meal of the day. You've always heard that, right, Carrie? Almost called you Kelly.
Heard that what now?
That breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
People have tried to tell me that, yes.
Do you know where that came from? That was a campaign from cereal companies to cram down your throat the idea that breakfast was the most important part of the day. It has been years since I've eaten breakfast.
I never eat breakfast.
No.
Unless somebody's already fixed it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is literally, and I mean literally been years since I had breakfast or since I had anything in the morning. I have none. You know what I have throughout my day until I get home at night? I have water. I drink water. This is the only thing I consume during the day. And it's been that way for years.
Mm.
And guess what? I'm probably more healthy than I've ever been in my entire adult life. You've been lied to about so many things, and it's simply because these companies, these people with money, pay off the politician for the politician to benefit them, not you. So it doesn't matter what you did or what you voted for or what they said they would do for you. They might do stuff that's good for you, But if it counteracts with what the companies that paid them are wanting them to do, well, they're going to go with the people that gave them money. You didn't give them money. You gave them a vote. You filled in a bubble on a piece of paper. These other people over here gave them tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what do you think they're going to do? And that's the way it's been for years. And for the first time that I can ever remember, we got a guy in charge who's got his own money, that doesn't want money from anybody else, that does it because he thinks it's what's right. the house. Something about Cover Song Friday gets me just straight fired up. Real Talk 99.5 TV on YouTube. For those of you that want to watch, you can get in here. You can chat with our people, our listeners. See, we've gone so long with you guys being able to actually text the show, but you don't get to text with the other listeners. This is a way you can text with the other listeners. You're watching the show on YouTube, and you can even give us your camera real quick. You can even see right here on the screen, Carrie. Look how excited he is. He looks very happy.
Very happy. Very happy to be here.
Yeah. You can see it all right here on YouTube. So remember, Real Talk 99.5 TV on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and all that jazz to be able to follow us and watch all the shows every day right here on this station. All right, I got to get into the ICE shooting in Minneapolis first. Let me get to Richard the cop. Richard, what's up?
Your little public service announcement they had about, before we come over for dinner, do you have any unlocked guns in your house? My question would be, why? You plan on robbing me?
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody.
No. Don't bring your children. We don't need no crumb grabbers in my house. More food for us.
That's right.
And plus, my kids, they're 7, 8 years old. They like their Glock 19s. Roll Tide, boys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, it's good to get them started early, by the way. Get them kids started early on them guns. Make sure they're strapped and ready to go. What's the earliest that you would start a child on firearm training?
Training or what they can do?
Well, just firearm safety. Let's say just general safety. I guess I don't know. I mean, as soon as they start walking, I guess safety is probably
I would
where
say
you go. But
when they can shoot a 12-gauge shotgun and not get knocked on their ass would be a good time to start.
You don't think like getting them out there with a 22?
I mean,
shooting
yeah,
some targets at
shooting some
4,
mistletoe out of a tree. Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
I mean, I may have a niece that was shooting mistletoe out of a tree at the age of 6 or 7.
I think it was probably 6 or 7 when I had P. Diddy firing off a 22. I think, yeah, somewhere around there. But biggest part of that is the safety aspect. That's the first thing you teach them. How to respect the firearm, and then you teach them how to shoot.
Yeah, if they find one, not to touch it is the key.
Because that's what happened in, where was it at? Hayden the other day. 2-year-old ends up being killed because from what I understand, the child got a hold of the firearm. It was somewhere available for the kid to access and ended up, unfortunately, shooting themselves in the head and passing away. So bad things can happen, man. Bad things can happen. Make sure you safely take care of your firearms because, and you got to have firearms. You got to have it for safety, just like these officers in Minneapolis, Self-defense, protection. There was actually 2 more people shot by ICE in Oregon yesterday. These 2 individuals were actually associated or affiliated, should I say, with Tren de Aragua. They were illegals that were being apprehended by ICE agents. Well, as soon as they go up to get them, they try to, you guessed it, ram the ICE agents with their vehicle. And I don't know that they've actually caught them yet. They may still be on the run. Bill Melugin said yesterday or last night at 2:19 Pacific time, U.S. Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted vehicle stop in Portland. The passenger of the vehicle and the target is a Venezuela illegal alien affiliated with the transnational Tren de Aragua prostitution ring and involved in a recent shooting in Portland. The vehicle driver is believed to be a member of the vicious Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. When agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants, the driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. Fearing for his life and safety, an agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with the passenger, fleeing the scene. The situation is evolving and more information is forthcoming. I haven't seen an update on that, but happened again. Now, I wonder, and again, it's got to find out if they've caught these individuals or not. Where's the outrage for these poor gang members that were shot by police? Is it because they're alive that we're not angry about it? What's the deal? What makes Renee Nicole Good better than the Trinde Aragua prostitution ring leaders? Speaking of, we found out more information about Renee Good, who is the lady that was shot by ICE the other day. This went down yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? I'm getting my days mixed up. This happened on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, correct.
Wednesday. Renee Good shot on Wednesday, and you already know a lot about her. You know that she is a she, her. She uses pronouns, has her in her social media stuff. But the backstory on who she is, where she's from, how she got herself in this position is the more fascinating aspect of this. According to media reports, what's known about her is kind of limited to bits and pieces that have been selectively leaked by the media, but it was confusing at first because I think at the beginning they reported that she was married to a man and had 3 children, but later it was reported that she was actually married to a woman who was with her at the protest. Now we know that she and her wife, Rebecca, were living together in a home in Kansas City. Together, they owned a handyman business. They had been living in Kansas City, but they hated Donald Trump so much that they actually moved to Canada when he was, I guess maybe this was before. No, this was probably after he got reelected. They moved to Canada and stayed there for 8 months. They moved to Canada in protest to say, we don't want to be in this country anymore. But apparently the socialist haven in Canada didn't suit them, so they moved back to the U.S. This time they moved back to Minneapolis instead of Kansas City, where then they made this dangerous decision to block federal agents from conducting a raid in that neighborhood. And now Renee's wife is reportedly blaming herself for bringing Nicole to the protest with her. Now, there's a lot of unanswered questions about Nicole Good's wife, like why wasn't she in the vehicle with her while she was reportedly blocking the road with her SUV so ICE couldn't get through or whatever. But a video had just come out like an hour ago, which seems to be possibly the recording from the ICE agent that was hit by the car. And I don't know, and I sent that to you as well, Carrie. It's either his recording or someone really close to him standing near him. I think it actually might be the ICE agent himself was recording with a phone. But I'm not sure. Again, don't take my word on that. And what you see in this new video is an up-close video of the car as it's blocking the road for ICE operations. And witnesses reported that as this protest was happening, trying to impede ICE activity, Nicole Good in her vehicle was kind of the lead car in all of this. Like, she was guiding the way, and she was saying, all right, I'm going to go cut them off at the front end and make sure they can't go anywhere and apprehend anybody. This officer that is at the point of this video walking around the vehicle, you can see him circle the side of the vehicle to where he gets to the driver's side window, and Nicole Good is there smiling or whatever as she's blocking the road, and she's like, yeah, blah, blah. She's saying whatever. He goes around to the back side of the vehicle where he's then confronted by the wife who says, yeah, but she's talking smack or whatever. And then he goes back around to the other side of the vehicle, which is when other agents walk up, tell her to get out of the car, start pulling on the door handle. That's when she backs up and drives straight towards that ICE officer. Now, if you watch the slowed down footage of this, you can see, in fact, the wheels turn to the direction of the ICE officer, and you can see the ICE officer be pushed by the vehicle because there's ice out there. You can see the officer's feet sliding in reverse as her car is hitting him and pushing him away, which is when he fired his weapon in order to stop her. Because it would have been easy for that ICE officer to slip on the ice, and then she would just roll over him. I mean, she's a deranged, militant lunatic. She would have no problem whatsoever doing that. But anyway, that's the backstory on her. That's her life leading up to this moment. I think she was married twice previously to men. Maybe the first husband died, and then she married another guy, and then there's 3 kids in the mix, and then she decided she didn't like men anymore. She married this woman, and had Trump derangement syndrome, like to an extreme level. But after moving to Minnesota from Canada, she became trained as an Ice Watch warrior, quote unquote, Ice Watch warrior, after meeting other militant activists through her child's charter school, some kind of social justice charter school. So she comes back and gets involved with a group where their main objective is to impede ICE investigations and ICE activity, law enforcement activity. So she was this was not somebody that was in fear for their lives. This was somebody that was there on a mission. Like, this was her thing. This is what she does in her spare time, is harass and impede ICE. If her entire life is consumed with these anti-ICE or ICE Watch or whatever, you've got to admit to yourself that she hates ICE. And she hates the men and women that work for ICE. And if she hates them that much to dedicate her life to a group that hates them, you got to believe that she would love to run over one of these individuals. The backstory of who this lady is, not going to look good in a court of law if it were to ever make it there. Because everything about this individual and her history and her activities says that if someone wants to hurt ICE, it would be her. ICE Watch is a loose alliance of radicalized anti-ICE activists dedicated to monitoring, documenting, and actively resisting the agency. They track and follow agents. They film them. They often dox their vehicles and other identifying information. New York Post says Good, who moved to the city last year, linked up with the anti-ICE activists through her 6-year-old son's woke charter school, which boasts that it puts social justice first and involving kids in political and social activism. Imagine sending your kid to a school and their motto is, we put social justice first. Not the ABCs, not arithmetic, not multiplication. We put social justice first. No education, just social justice first. According to a mother named Lisa, whose child attends the same school, she said she's a warrior. She died doing what was right. To listen to commands, to know your rights, to whistle when you see an ICE agent. Renee was trained against these ICE agents, what to do, what not to do. It's a very thorough training. Apparently not, unless what to do is run over ICE agents. That's crazy. Good and her wife, Rebecca, 40, who were raising their child together and sent the boy to Southside Family Charter School, a K-5 Academy, opened in 1972, which has from its inception been unabashedly dedicated to social justice education. It was through her involvement in the school community that Good became involved in Ice Watch, a coalition of activists dedicated to disrupting ICE raids in the sanctuary city. He said current event topics like the killing of George Floyd were regular parts of the curriculum, and that last month students took a field trip where they learned about Aboriginal issues, a reference to the indigenous people of faraway Australia.
Very important to learn.
It is. So she was an outright militant lunatic, and now she's the new George Floyd. Now she's the new. I mean, hell, George Floyd's got a better case than this one does. George Floyd was resisting arrest, yeah, but he wasn't throwing haymakers. He wasn't driving a vehicle at Minneapolis police officers. No, it doesn't change the fact that he overdosed on fentanyl, but like if you're going to find George Floyd 2.0, I don't think this is the one you need to go with. I think you need to wait it out and see if you can catch another ICE agent slipping, making a bad decision. But this one, my friends, my dear friends in Minneapolis, this one ain't it. 205-545-9950, 545-9950. And obviously, with what we know now, I mean, for us with a brain, that's an open and shut case. It shouldn't even be a case, but, they got to investigate it. But it's seemingly open and shut. And you would think that the left would, slowly start to come to the realization like this is just not the one. But they latch on and they don't let go. And they're not going to let this one go. Again, the Democrats are going to take this for the next government shutdown and say, we got to defund ICE in order to reopen the government. I can already tell you right now, that's what's going to happen. But the irony in all of this, because the left never ceases to amaze me when it comes to their hypocrisy. Just 3 days ago, CNN, on the anniversary of January 6th, had a panel on one of their shows where most of the panel was talking about how Ashley Babbitt, 5 years ago, deserved to be shot and killed. It's amazing that they can go to these lengths and still have we're talking about 3 days here. 3 days. And they've already moved on and been like, oh, cops shooting people. This is insane. But when it comes to CNN, they have no self-awareness. None whatsoever. Let me get to Bill real quick. Bill, what's up?
Hey, Andrew. I was listening to your description about the film that you saw on the shooting in Minneapolis. And, there is, I guess, a lot of film out there, a lot of video, right? And I may not have seen them all. But what I did see comes in at the point where you mentioned the ICE agent, I think, or 2 of them, I guess, approached her car in their vehicle. One gets out and goes to the door and starts to open it. So at that point, what I saw, and I would hope at some point we could all agree on this, what I saw was, yes, her wheels were turned to the left at that point, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But as which was toward the agent, but as she started to move, she turns them to the right. And clearly, she goes to the right. And at that point, the officer who was there, I guess who felt threatened, shot her. Okay? So my view is that, she was not heading directly to an ICE agent. The choice was there, I guess, for him to either shoot, which he did, or maybe get a license plate and follow up with her. Now,
well, and here's what's got to be known, and we're just interrupting because we're running out of time. Is that one, which we've talked about, it was just 6 months ago in the same state, this officer was dragged 50 feet by a scenario that was similar. But also, if you look closely at the video, when she first tries to take off because there's ice on the road, her tires start spinning. So the officer, who's just got a matter of 2 seconds, has this vehicle pointed directly at him. Here's this girl revving her engine with her vehicle pointed right at him, and has to decide, am I going to get dragged again like I did a few months ago, or am I going to fire in self-defense, which is what he chose?